something that honestly is not common on YouTube, but is common on YouTube. And what I mean by that is it's uncommon on YouTube because of the nature of it. Because I feel like, not to toot my own horn, but I feel like sometimes I'm more honest than some people are. Because, like, some people, even if they had, like,
Are
even
you
if they
telling
have
me you can make more
success,
like him?
No,
you know,
not yet.
like, they
I
may be
sorted out
with,
a few
like, the
pieces,
girl they
but it's
want,
not like I can put together the
possibly,
same Humpty
you know,
Dumpty, if that's what you're asking.
if they're not,
He
if
was
they're
a
not
freak
single.
accident. The goal
They may have a
was to do it
secure
better.
living situation.
Maybe that. I don't know
Well,
what
by
you've got
secure, I just
inside you
mean, like,
already.
more
The
secure.
mixture
Like,
could
they don't
be
worry about
an abomination.
spending money on things and making their rent and stuff. You know, they kind of
I
don't worry about it because they know
I
it's,
was unwilling.
they already make enough
I
over
just
that
need
to splurge a little, whatever, you know what I mean. A lot of people don't talk about their real thoughts, you know, I realize that a lot. People talk about people who have fears, I guess, admitting to the truth, you know, like what they really are thinking or whatever, and like, that's good sometimes, because you don't want to, sometimes it just makes sense to, you know, then sometimes, you know, especially for someone's entertainment, you know, this is supposed to be about your entertainment, you know, you think you want to be entertained, you know, why would you be on YouTube watching shit if you didn't want to be entertained? So sometimes I just keep it 100% real, because not that I owe anyone that, but it's just that in all honesty, that's just me, and that's just a lot of people, you know, but a lot of people, maybe they won't be so 100% for whatever reason, you know, but me, it's more fun sometimes. Sometimes I just gotta let it go, because, you know, I just let it all go, because, you know, you only live once, you know what I mean? So, this rant is about, like, this is a rant where literally I'm honestly, I've been celebrating my birthday not on the birthday, but I'm celebrating it later, because like it's been coming up, so I got a little buzz going. So obviously, you know, they say the alcohol comes in, the truth comes out.
This is what
This rant
I was
about
trying to explain. I don't know what. You've been ladling into yourself.
I like
Clearly it worked.
taking my
Let's
mask off. and
assume
just being a real
you don't
me.
understand a word I'm saying, but if you'll just get back on the table, if I can fix this.
Some reasons why I'm a violent and antisocial person, why as a man, especially as a straight man, why I hate because, number one, you gotta look at history. You gotta look at history and all the things that you as a adult have learned as you've grown, how women can be vicious and manipulative, and women can be violent, and women can also be what's the word, untrustworthy and sinister, but men tend to be worse, you know. It's just kind of a common thing, you know, because you
Are
know,
you telling me you
generally
can make more like him?
No,
men
not
tend
yet. I
to
sorted
be,
out a few pieces, but it's not like I can
just
put
on
together the
average,
same
you know, not
Humpty Dumpty, if that's what you're asking.
it's a gray area, but in
He was a
reality, men
freak
tend to be on
accident.
average
The goal
more
is
of
to
a
do it
threat
better.
in any way,
matters
and like you gotta think of it as a man. It's like
I
it's
don't know
always
what
some
you've got
man
inside you
that
already.
will
The mixture
meet a
could
girl
be
before you meet her
an
and
abomination.
end up getting a girl that you would have wanted, or it's always a man that maybe
I
has a
didn't
position
say
that you would
I
want.
was unwilling.
It's always a man that has a piece
I
of
just
land that you would
need
want. It's
informed
always a
consent.
men clashing with men, because men stand in people's way, and then another man has to empower that man to take that position. You know what I mean? It's always that. So me, by nature, I'm straight up, man. I'll keep it real. Like, you know, me, I'm a very combative person from birth, like a very violent, physical person. You know, it's like that's just the way I am. You know, I was just born that way. Like to have a violent disposition and a ornery angry, mean disposition. But you know, I was born off
This is
of
what
nature.
I was trying to explain. I don't know what. You've been ladling into yourself.
Destroy or remove or whatever.
Clearly it worked.
Another
Let's assume you don't understand a word I'm saying.
if
If you'll just get back on the table, I can fix this.
It's kind of it's like it's not like I have a whole don't accept people that are gay, but another thing is it's annoying that like you know as a man, and especially if you're a man like you, like you know you're literally just straight up you're a warrior, a hunter, a gatherer. You know you're not a false human. You're not a weird, unnatural human. No, you're just like a base human, like there always was. You know, like you want, you know, a security. You want, a spouse. You know, you have emotional needs. You look for towards a woman for that. You have sexual needs. You look for a woman for that. You like to eat. You know, you have, you need to stimulate your brain in physical attributes. So you know, like I said, it's pretty much, you know, you hunt, fight, and fuck. And obviously, you know, you have emotional needs, but no men don't play a role in that. So as this thing is with gay men, what do they, you know, it's kind of like, they're kind of like just annoying to you, you know, especially men that, um, you know, are attracted to you. It's like, it's just a fucking annoyance. You know, it's like you understand it, but it's just annoying and it's a useless thing. It's just there's no use for them. You know what I mean? I often find that like men in general to me are just completely useless because they're just an annoyance that's in the way. You know what I mean? Now, a friendship is a different thing. Like if you need a friend, and I mean I'm not talking about a friend that is a parasite. I mean a friend that actually contributes to goals that you're trying to contribute in your life, and your interactions with them, you're both contributing to something. You know what I mean? Like that's like if you have a training partner who you both train and you both get better at your crafts and things because you both contribute to that. You know what I mean? Like one person contributes to the other, and that's a healthy like that's how every relationship on this earth is. It's like a symbiotic relationship, you know, and that's healthy. But what's not healthy is exposing yourself to people and they're not contributing anything to you and you're not contributing anything to them, especially if they're more of a negative stimulus in your like psyche and in your just presence and everything. You know, that's how it is with me. It's always seems like, you know, because I don't know, inherently I am, like I said, inherently I'm a violent antisocial person. I really don't like, unless there's something that I like about the person or anything, I will, it puts me in a mode of where either I will try to avoid or I will get extremely violent, extremely territorial, extremely threatening, and then want to then, you know how the story goes, you know, at that point, it's kind of like when you see a roach in your house, you know, you want to squash it. There's no other way to put it. You just want to get rid of it because, you know, or just remove yourself as far away from whatever it is as possible. And that might sound primal to someone, but that's how I feel comfortable. Like that's the real me. You know what I mean? Like a person, just like an animal, like a wild animal. You know, I'll avoid interactions with any other thing, and I'm very solitary unless I have a need for it. Now, it's different when it's like, you know, a girlfriend or a spouse, because that's really the main thing I want around me all the time. You know what I mean? Or generally, I would say with women, I usually would rather, I'll put it like this, because see, women, the thing about women is, there's a lot more that I like about them, but then there's way more, like they're way more useful in the fact of just their presence of being there is pleasant. That's the thing. So it's kind of like, unless they're just really fucking annoying or really, what's the word? Horrible personalities, or they're just really, really disgusting, or maybe they're really a combo of being really, really fucking ugly and lame, and a wicked person who likes to try to sabotage people, or they're just as violent and uncontrollable as a man, and they always want to challenge you and always want to fight with you physically and try to assault you and all this dumb shit. Then I have to fucking destroy them too and eliminate them, because they're just a threat and a nuisance, and then there's no, it cancels out any positive that would have been there. And that's just people in general. But me, I just find that, like, men is like the most disgusting fucking thing that God ever created, and it's funny because it's like, it almost seems like men were built to fight each other. Like that's how it just seems, like there's not, it's pretty fucking weird, but that's the way I see things. And I often find that, like, the longer that I live and the more experiences I have, the more I always feel like my gut feeling is that maybe someone else is right, in the respect that, like, because there's people that are very friendly and very outgoing, and they tend to have like a brotherly sort of bond and vibe that they give off with, like, people, and they seem to like that. With me, it's it's much more hard. It's way harder for a person, in my opinion, especially a man, to have any level of respect with me in my mind, or even a like in any way, because, like I said, I'm a very mean, ornery, antisocial, violent person, and men just seem to really just not vibe with my being, I guess. They just don't. There's no, it's like they really, really just don't. So that's basically, if that makes any sense, partially what this rant is about.
They're all low quality. You got some moves, haven't you? Hey, little monkey. Go on, get in your hair. Wow, wow, wow. I'm so happy. I know it. You think you'd ever stop? Never get tired. You don't want to actually. Imagine not chasing you non-stop every day. So what should we do today? We'll go play with the monkey for today. Yay!
this is kind of like the second part to the beginning of the rant, that I started. And basically I want to touch on like how people are funny. People, like, I feel like the way people are is people get an idea in their head. People often, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's maybe a lack of empathy, or maybe it's a lack of intelligence, or what it is. But see, me, I'm the type of person where I try to be like respectful or try to be considerate with people, but then I have to come to the conclusion that, I hate to say it, but like, I'm no fucking Einstein or no genius, but I always come to the conclusion that people are a lot dumber than you give them credit for. Simple as that. Like, you think because you're intelligent, you think because you have a sense of like the differences between people's cultures, differences between people's upbringing and mentalities, and you know that, like, it's just not going to be beneficial maybe to another person's psyche if you just like interact with them or speak on your belief system or speak on your opinion or whatever just so freely. It's like, that I mean, that's what I mean is, if you're intelligent and you're empathetic enough, or you have enough of a sixth sense to know how people will perceive things or what it might do to their psyche or how it might off-put them. See, you won't just, be so loose about how you behave and talk. But then the funny thing is, like, I realize, like, most people, like, not all people, but most people, they generally are fucking dumb. Like, it's almost like their understanding is shallow. It's not deep. It doesn't go that deep. They don't really, when they look at something or they look at a person, or interact with their environment and people, they do not pick up on cues, nor, it's almost like they just have a sense that's gone. Like, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a sixth sense. Maybe they were just missing that sixth sense and I just have it. I don't know. That's just the way it's always been for me, where, and then what annoys the fuck out of me is this whole political nonsense. This whole hate speech, this speech. Like, man, shut the fuck up. It's just like, fucking just be grateful for what you have, the freedoms you have, and understand that, like, if you want to become something, or you want like something you enjoy in your life, just try to fucking acquire it. Don't be a fucking pussy and a big baby and try to create weird boundaries and weird structures that you think are going to leverage what maybe you want in some type of way. And if you want to do that, go about it like the way that actually works. Like, there's things in this world that are twisted, but they get people things they want. Like, there's organized crime, there's fucking there's all types of crime that you could get into if you really want to get something you want, some type of way. You want to get money fast, then go a route that gets money fast. Don't be a pussy and sit and think you're going to be some type of virtue signaling warrior or social justice warrior, or you think even you're going to be some type of racial supremacist, or you think you're going to be some fucking conservative guru, or you think you're going to reinvent some fucking wheel, or just cut the bullshit, man. And I have to say, if like and this to me is not a negative rant. This is a positive rant, because this is shit that's real. This is me speaking on like my reality, what I feel is real. It's like, I look at it this way, man. You vibe with some people, and some people you really like respect them. You really appreciate how they're trying to interact with you, and then other people you're just like you're a fucking moron. It's so funny how, like, some people, sad thing is, they have good intentions sometimes, but they're so fucking dumb. Like, they can't even see their own hand in front of their face, it seems like. I just don't get it. It's like, for some reason, like, truth escapes them, you know, like real truth, truths and deeper things. That's a hard word for me to say. Truths with an S. It escapes them. Deeper things seem to just escape them. You know, it's like, it's almost as if they never had to think deeper, so they just don't think on that level, you know. So then I say something, and then it's, to them it seems weird, you know. It's like, why should it be sound weird to you? Like, you should be smart enough to understand how that should not even be just a possibility, but that should be a common reality, and you should be understanding that that is just in existence, you know. Excuse me, a fucking hiccup, but whatever. But you know, I'm so tired. I'm just sick and tired of people. Like, I'm sick and fucking tired of people being so dumb. You know, like, why are you so fucking stupid? You know, and then it's like, what's this? Who thought of this whole concept of that people like me are being mean, or we're being harsh by saying, why the fuck are you so stupid? You know, it's like, no, it's reality. It's like, why the fuck are you so stupid? You know, or like, I could say to someone, why the fuck are you so lazy? Or why are you so fucking weak? You know, like, did shit get mixed in with your gene pool? Like, did you get the shit gene? Like, I know I have my own issues, but people have their issues. Some of these issues, I don't understand where it comes from. Like, why is it, like, how did you come out like that? What the fuck's wrong with you? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is this? You know? But I feel like the more as time goes on, the more I realize it does not pay to give a fuck and pretend like you're like everybody else, or try to make people happy or feel comfortable, because they just do not deserve it. There's no real point to it, you know. Like, I feel so much more powerful, and it's like, almost as crazy as it sounds, I can almost feel all the positive things drawing towards me when I let loose and I become the real so-called asshole. Or some people just say I'm evil. They literally say I'm just like an evil person for some reason. I don't think it's evil. I think it's just keeping shit real. You know, it's like, you know, calling something as it is what it is. The thing is this: if you're a person who, you say something out your mouth that deserves someone to give you 2 seconds to sit and listen to it, then that's good. But if all you do is open your mouth and all that comes out is things that I should just like pretend you're not there, then you should not be heard, you know. But people are so fucking dumb, they don't see it that way, you know. And like, I would say, sometimes men can be worse than women. Sometimes women can be even worse than men in terms of that, you know. But it's just like, you know, this rant is about basically, you know, like, I'll give you an example of like some shit that just annoys me. Like, for instance, this channel is supposed to be an art channel. This channel is supposed to be a recreational channel that is supposed to like document forms of art and recreation and self-improvement that you could possibly implement to make your life more fulfilling, more fun, methods of experimentation that you could do to get you to acquire things that maybe you want to take into yourself, like into your psyche, into your physical being and everything, you know. But I'll say it's mostly due to the lack of other people that I can't find to help create these videos and content and things that brings me to sitting here ranting into a fucking camera. You know what I mean? Which is so basic and so lame. But the problem is really this, is that every motherfucker around this block is so basic and so fucking lame that they don't want to create anything, because honestly, they're not fucking creative. It's because, honestly, people talk and say they like this and they like that and they're this and they're that, and they're really fucking not. You know what I mean? What they really are is lazy, fucking weak, fucking soft, don't have discipline in XYZ and XYZ. So they're not going to create shit. They're just going to sit around and do the same shit and sit on their stank booty and do the same thing day in and day out. that's the real shit. You know what I'm saying? That's the real hardcore truth. And see, that's the shit that they don't want to hear. But people claim to say, oh, I like Steve, or Steve is a nice person in this. But you may not say that when I actually show you what Steve really is, you know? Because me, I'm a person where I could analyze a person for years, literally, and then come to a conclusion. You know what I mean? And then they think I'm a different person when all of a sudden I start speaking on things and whatever, you know, or I could literally give someone a warning and tell them, hey, I see this way. And then for some reason, maybe they just don't pay attention to what I'm saying. And then all of a sudden they act like it's some big thing when they start seeing me address things and act in a course of action. They're like, you know, like as if something weird is happening. But that's what I mean. People are so fucking dumb that how come you can't just put two and two together and see something for what it really is? You know, it's like I also talked about before about like how come people are so weak in a certain way where they can't, a lot of modern people can't understand what threats are or understand like what's the word, deceptive behaviors from people. Like they don't understand how, like, sometimes I'll see in a person, I'll see the negative and I'll see how a person is manipulative and deceptive. Could be that they're childish, selfish, XYZ, you know, and etc. And some people, they don't even seem to pay any attention to. So it's like it just escapes them. But me, I seem to be able to like see that quicker than other people, you know. So shit like that kind of just it really annoys me, you know, because then people say, oh well, they act like you think you're better than someone, or it's this or that. And honestly, that's completely fucking irrelevant. You know what I mean? It's like, at the end of the day, are you happy? At the end of the day, do you have things you want? Or at the end of the day, are you at peace with what your situation and environment is? That's what really is relevant, you know? There's tons of times where I've been around people where they've done shit where I really thought it was completely disgusting, but because they were serving a certain purpose for me and I was serving a certain purpose, it wasn't really relevant to me. I kept my own comments to myself and mind my own business. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So that's just how it is sometimes. And it's not because like I feared them or because I, you know, was intimidated by them or because I had like some other reason to. No, it's just sometimes sometimes things just aren't your fucking business. You know, you just leave it alone. Like it's not going to help you. It'll actually hurt you more to try to like, what's the word, insert yourself where you don't belong, you know? And that's the problem with people. I say people always find themselves, always putting themselves where they don't fucking belong and then finding themselves in trouble. You know, it's like, why are you gonna fucking even put yourself where you don't belong? Why are you gonna butt in some shit that's not your fucking business? You know, like, why are you gonna fucking try to make someone into some shit that they're not? You know what I mean? It's just like, and I'm not talking about like changing someone for the better when you know that you really should speak on something and really impact someone and they'll make a change and then they'll thank you later for like saying something. That's a different story, because people always want to take everything I say. I sense that too. That's the thing. The one thing about me is I sense people's intent very well. So a lot of times I can sense when a motherfucker tries to take what I say and twist it because you're trying to be a scumbag and you're trying to take what I say and try to like twist it into what you want it to feed your narrative. No, you're not gonna, you know, that's not gonna fucking fly. You know, and I can see through that very fast. So it's not that. But what I'm trying to say is this. Is that, you know, there's a time for everything, and like sometimes people will try to make you into something that you're not, you know, like because they want you to behave a certain way or something is so jarring to them that they think, oh, you're supposed to be such a nice guy, why would you think this way, you're supposed to be so this. Like, how the fuck would you know what the fuck I am? You know what I mean? Like, how would you have not, the thing is, you have not taken the time to spend enough years around me to understand what that would even mean. Like, how would you know? You know what I mean? that's another thing. People want things. People like how am I trying to say this? People want things so fast, and I'm not talking about people that should get shit so fast. Like, to keep it real, like if you're a fucking attractive woman, you're an attractive girl, and you have a good personality, and like it's pretty blatant that you're like a very nice person. Like it's not, it doesn't take that. It's not something I have to like take a long time to learn. If I just know that things just click, I can spend time with you to understand all the other side of like. So don't, like I always say again, don't take shit out of context. What I'm saying is when people are on some straight dumb shit, like I'll give you an example, something I've experienced a lot, right? Like people will see how I'm polite, and I'm polite for reasons, and I'm polite to people for certain reasons. Mostly it's because I'm screening you. It's like I'm trying to see, are you someone that I like should give you the mean and the nasty, like, or are you someone that I can potentially be civil to? That's all it is. It's my way of seeing what I think you are, or how I should interact with a person, um, but then they'll see that, so they'll be dumb enough to think that they can try to give me some fucking advice where I never asked for it. You know what I mean? Like they're stupid enough to think that. Like it's like, and I've had this happen to me to people before. Like they'll, spend not that much time around me at all, and then they'll try to give me some fucking advice, and like, like normally because I've already studied them for a while, what I would internally, my natural reaction would be to tell them about themselves and be like, hey, why would you think that you know anything about this when you in your life don't even have this, or you don't seem to have a grasp on this? And then the thing is, they take that as like it hurts their feelings or something. It's like too much for them to handle. The idea of anything is so alien to them. But then on the same coin, they don't understand that they're arrogant enough to think that they can give me some fucking advice on something, or something that I could say that's like simple, but they think it's somewhat like, I'll give you an example. I had someone tell me that literally, they said, because sometimes like for instance, sometimes my style of any you think that style is such a small thing, can be gothic sometimes. Someone tried to tell me goth was a fucking cult. It's like you got these religious motherfuckers who are dumb, who don't know their ass from their booty hole, and they don't know their mouth hole from their nose hole, but they'll claim that they know something about spirituality or think that they know something about Christianity, and they really fucking don't. Or they think they know something about something, but they really fucking don't. They tried to tell me goth was a cult, and it pissed me the fuck off. But I really didn't really speak on it. But I hate to say it, but you know what? Karma really crashed on them. You know what I mean? I hate to say it, like, a lot of times I'll give people this warning: when you think you know about the so-called spiritual, and you open your mouth, and you're around someone like me, you may want to watch what you fucking say, because what I'm trying to tell you is I'm not all. It may seem like I'm alone, but I'm not always alone. So if I don't get at you, there's some fucking forces that might get at your fucking ass quick too. If I get pissed off, I'm just gonna say, if I get angry and I hold that anger in or let it out sometimes, I don't have to touch anything. I don't have to do something per se, but some shit might just happen to you. Things might just happen. Things will happen. I hate to say might, because you usually something will happen, because you don't really know you don't want to open a door that you don't really know anything about. Like, don't speak on something, and don't speak in the presence of everyone when you don't know what you're really speaking at. Like, you don't really know what's going on. So you may just want to may not want to say anything at all. Don't say everything you think. Sometimes I'm cautious about shit I say around people, because I don't fucking know who else is there. I don't know. And that's getting deep and really spiritual. You don't know what the fuck is with certain people, and how vengeful or how violent or active something is going to be, and now something comes upon you because you piss someone off, so that rage or that anger channeled itself a different way and targeted you now. You know what I mean? And and someone would say, oh, well, that's crazy. Well, it might sound crazy to you, but whatever. You may not believe in these things, but it doesn't matter if you don't believe in it or not. What's going to matter is when something affects you is how severe it's going to be, because it's going to happen whether you believe or not. But the thing is, like I said, motherfuckers need to learn some extra skills. You need to learn to open your fucking mind and open your mind to the fact that, like, there's things that you may not understand just because you get up in the morning with the same bumpkin stank ass routine. You know, like, some motherfuckers get up in the morning, drink a coffee, and maybe take a shit, and then put their underwears on, and then they leave their house and they drive, right? And then they drive to wherever, or walk to work, or whatever the fuck you do. To understand that, like, in that time span, when you cross the threshold of speaking to another person, understand that, like, that other person may have had a whole different regimen than you did before you interact with them. So be careful of how you fucking take in things from your environment, how you interact with people, because you don't know. You know what I'm saying? I know it's scary to some pussy ass motherfuckers to understand. It's scary for them sometimes to think that, like, there's things outside of themselves, and there are people and things that are different than them, so they cannot just, like, there will be opposition if you think you will run the same program with a different program and think that you will get the same result. You will not get the same result. You may get a better result. Like, honestly, some people, they meet me, and honestly, they would say that they wish more people could be like me, and that's a different example. That's the best case scenario. You know, like, you meet someone, and it's happened to me before too. You meet someone, and you realize that, like, you'd wish more people were like them, because you seem to have a better understanding. It seems to be a more compatible program that, you know, they have. But I'm telling you, motherfuckers, especially you motherfuckers out here who are fucking idiots and just straight stupid, you fuck around with somebody like me, and the wrong fucking thing is gonna happen. You know, you're gonna wish that you just never fucked up the wrong way. But that's why I'm trying to say this, to say, like, you know, all it really takes, it sounds like a lot, but all it really takes is you to take a little bit of extra time to pause and think before, like, you do or say something. That's all it really takes, you know what I mean? But, you know, this is the world that we fucking live in, is where, you know, for whatever reason, you have weird, I mean, when I say weird, I mean, I may be weird, but I don't like the type of weird that I'd be seeing in fucking media and on YouTube channels, and I'm not feeling this shit, man. I'm not into this whole, like, pussy ass, like, I don't like things I see on both sides either. You know, like I say, I don't like shit I see with these conservative people. I don't like shit I see with these fucking, what do they call themselves, left people or whatever the fuck. You know, I don't like a lot of things I'm seeing, man. I don't like it, you know. It just doesn't, it's not agreeing with me. You know, I really don't like a lot of things that I'm sensing. I don't like things I'm seeing, nor what I'm sensing. I don't like, you know, I don't like this whole, I'll tell you what I'm sensing. Some people they might be watching this and be like, what are you sensing, Steve? What do you even mean, man? What is this, Spider-Man, Spider Sense? No, this ain't Spider, this is reality. This ain't fucking Spider-Man, man. This is what you should have. This is a sense that you should have too. You know, what I'm sensing is a disgusting, sly narrative of a person who knows that they are getting away with murder, acting a fool, and they should get the shit slapped out of them. But they are being protected, more or less, in a way. And then they are running rampant with that shit. Like, they're like, you know, they're like, it's like, you ever seen the meme where it's like, oh, date me, bigot? It's like, you know, it's a trans person who acts like you're transphobic if you're not attracted to a trans person. Like, how the fuck would that make you transphobic? It just means you're not attracted. Like, are you black phobic if you're not attracted to me? Like, if a girl isn't attracted to me because I'm a black motherfucker, does that make her black phobic? No, she just doesn't like black people. Like, she's not attracted to black men. It's just like how I'm not attracted to a lot of black women. You know, I usually prefer white women way more on an average, way more, right? Does that make me fucking black phobic? Does that make... No, it just means I'm not like, what the fuck? Am I banana phobic when I don't want to eat bananas? Am I cracker phobic when I don't want to eat saltines? And am I fucking peanut butter phobic when I don't want a peanut butter jelly sandwich? Like, what the fuck is this? With that, this is what I mean about, like, what is making me sick with this narrative in this disgusting fucking energy that is, like, oozing off of people and things in fucking media. And, like, it's not just in media, it's in everyday life. Like, what is with these, what is this bullshit? You know what I mean? Like, where people are playing these fucking false, fucking mixing my words up right now, like, false games of like pretending like something is when it clearly is not. Like, don't play this, stop playing these fucking games, man. You know, don't tell me that I'm fucking toxic or I'm masculinely that's a toxic masculinity. That's another one. Like, toxic masculinity, huh? It'll be toxic when I break your fucking jaws. Will be toxic, motherfucker. When I fucking hit you so hard and so precise in the fucking your socket here that you may risk having some permanent damage in your fucking eye. You know what I'm saying? When I fucking grapple you and fucking shove some shit up in here intentionally, that shit will be toxic, motherfucker. You know, like, toxic, what I'm trying to say is be grateful that you're not in serious danger and understand that, like, your psychological fear is all psychological. Nobody's toxic out here except people that are actually toxic. You know, like, so you're meaning to tell me that masculinity in itself is toxic? Well, so what's not toxic? So you mean to tell me that if you're a fucking homosexual and you're into drugs and you're weak and you're weak-minded and you are also physically weak and you are also acting like a fucking woman and you act like an entitled little 15-year-old girl and you have literally the what's the word, habits of like a little fucking 15-year-old girl, and you're a grown man and it's not on a boo-boo boo-hoo-hoo all the time for stupid reasons. Like, obviously there's people that are out there that are gay, and obviously they're just, you know, of sound mind and think like normal people. But what I'm talking about is you get these motherfuckers who, it's like, you know, they want a narrative to feel powerful because they deserve no power and they are not powerful. So they would rather try to make a narrative in a, like, mafia, if you will, to where they feel like they want to get their way imposed because they really don't deserve to have their will imposed, nor do they want to do any type of work to get their will imposed. Like, this is what I mean about shoving some shit in your fucking socket is what I mean. What I'm saying is a motherfucker like me will get their hands dirty and get physical. Okay, see, that's what I mean. Like, fuck the bullshit. I'm gonna get physical, put my own self at risk at the expense of, you know, putting myself at risk. I'm going to oppose my will upon you and get my hands dirty, you know, because I'm not a pussy, because I'm ready to really get my fucking hands dirty. I'm not going to sit there and say, let me try to trap this person with, like, a fucking narrative. Let me try to make a squad of fucking little pussies and little fruity boys and little pansy wansies, and I'm going to try to, like, control something that I really deserve to have no control over. You know, not like I was like a badass fucking warrior who literally overtook something with the strength of my own fucking back, my knowledge, my wit, my strategy, and my composure and strength. And through perseverance, I actually acquired something with sheer power and force, which is to be respected. No, instead I want to be a fucking weasel. See, no one likes, that's the thing, it's not about you being gay, it's not about you being different, it's about you being a fucking weasel and thinking that you're going to weasel your fucking way around acquiring anything or getting something. That's what people cannot stand. No one wants to see that. Nobody likes that. Nobody wants anything to do with that. You get no respect for that. No one wants that. That's what I'm trying to talk about when I say I don't like this fucking shit that I'm seeing in this media. Like, someone will hear everything I'm saying and they want to cancel me. Oh, you want to cancel me, motherfucker? Huh? Okay. I'll show you what cancel is. I'll show you what toxic is, motherfucker. I will show you what you think is toxic. If you think you want to claim you know what is toxic or this and that, man, you better shut the fuck up and be grateful. You better be grateful that no one has a hold of you that will show you what some toxic shit is. So see, that's what I'm saying. Can you even understand that? Like, is your little pea brain big enough to understand that? Or is it not? Are you gonna fucking cry? Is that what's gonna happen now? Does this hurt you or something? Are you going to blacklist me? Are you going to cancel me? Is that what you're gonna try to do? Because I told the truth. See, that's the problem. So, you know, I should just stop this right here. You know, because I feel like I've said enough. Like, this was actually a positive rant because this was some real shit. You know, so if you're slow and you're like a fucking retard, maybe you should like sift through this and like run it over, maybe watch it a few times to get a grasp on what I'm saying. Because some people, maybe you think I'm speaking like Japanese or French or something, or you think I'm speaking Greek, or think I'm speaking alien, or no, get a fucking grip, get a fucking clue, okay? And run this shit through your mind like when you're laying in fucking bed after you busted as many nuts as it takes for you to get a rest. Lay down and fucking let this shit sink into your fucking psyche, okay? And then run it through, because if you really do, I guarantee you, whether you agree with me or not, when now what you're hearing, you will agree to some degree if you listen to what the fuck I just said. So that angry but positive rant, that's for the motherfucker. I'm not talking about the people out here who I'm cool with and like, you know, you have half a brain. I'm talking about these idiot motherfuckers who are straight idiots. Fucking stop it with this bullshit, man. And for the people who have half a brain, have a nice day, man. Or woman, whoever, have a nice day, you know.